Starfield hasn't even been out for a couple of days, and the Nexus page is already seeing some mods. And there's been quite a few released already that I'd consider essential, especially if you're playing on PC. They're mods that you're definitely not going to want to miss out on. And in case you're worried about spoilers, don't worry, there aren't going to be any in this video. Now let's start things off right at the main menu, because despite what some, well, dumbasses would say on Twitter, it's a really nice solid main menu, as long as we just ignore that message of the day notification. Although pretty nice to keep you in the loop, there are sight on the eyes unfortunately, and there's no way to disable them in game. Thankfully though, Shadowshade, the author behind the Baka series of mods for Fallout 4, has released Baka No Message of the day. Now this is a pretty simple mod and what 90% of the Starfield Nexus currently consists of. And what that is a Starfield custom.ini. If you don't know, Bethesda games generally have configurable INIs. In the case of Fallout 4 for example, you have your Fallout 4 INI, and then a Fallout 4 prefs, and finally a Fallout 4 custom INI. But the custom one often isn't generated by default if I recall correctly. But it's this custom INI that has priority over all of the others, which is incredibly handy because instead of potentially changing a setting you didn't mean to or messing up one of the other INIs, you can simply add the line you want to edit into your custom and they'll show in game. And that's what this Starfield mod does. It'll give you a custom INI which has be-enable message of the day equals 0. That'll remove that not so good looking box in the corner, so you can finally enjoy the main menu in all of its glory. To install this mod, simply extract it with 7-zip or something, then drag and drop its contents, the Starfield custom INI, into your Documents, My Games, Starfield folder. You'll know when you're in the right one because a Starfield prefs.ini should also be in there. Don't close it though because we're not done yet, as there's something that might be a complete deal breaker for some of you that you'll notice instantly upon pressing the game. And that's, well, the FOV. It is very low here, but it's kinda to be expected from Bethesda games as they typically do have an incredibly low default FOV. And if you don't want to be opening the console to type the command for it every time you boot up the game, this is an easy fix. In the same custom INI you installed earlier, simply add the lines camera, fFPWorldFOV equals and then your desired value. And this will change your first person FOV to whatever you want it to be. For me personally, I find 110 is comfortable, so I'm simply going to add in FOV equals 110. Now you can also do this for the third person camera as well, with fTPWorldFOV equals and then your FOV. This is one of those small tweaks that makes a world of difference, and I'm sure a lot of people thought the same thing, as well there's already 4 different mods uploaded to the Nexus that'll do just this. So if you're like me and struggle really bad with motion sickness at low fields of view, this is definitely a couple of lines you're gonna want to add to that custom INI. Like I said earlier though, Starfield's custom INIs flooding the Nexus on the first day are only 90% of the mods at the moment, so there's still that other 10%. The first one we're going to be looking at is going to get you into the game faster, so there's less time waiting to play and more time, well, actually playing it. Skip launch video is going to replace the Bethesda splash screens at the start of the game with a dummy video file. Basically this means instead of playing the logo video, a 1-second black dummy file will play instead, saving you a whole 7 seconds. And just to put into perspective how long that is, here's a direct video ripped from the game that this mod's going to replace, played in its entirety. So yeah, you'll be saving yourself all of that time whenever you press the play button from now on. Now you should really, like with any mod that adds files to the game's directory, do this through a mod manager that has proper file virtualization. Because when you're touching your game's data folder, you ideally don't want to mess anything up, or else you could end up potentially needing to reinstall the whole game, and Starfield being over 100 gigs, that could definitely take a while. But currently as of recording this, as far as I'm aware there isn't a mod manager available for Starfield other than probably Vortex, but I don't really want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. And as this is a relatively harmless mod, you should be able to install it manually, which is where we just drag and drop the data folder from the mod into our Starfield directory, which can be found by going into Steam, Manage, Browse Local Files. Once there, just drag and drop the data folder from the mod and it should want to overwrite one file. Say yes and then you're good to go. You just saved yourself 7 seconds. If you want to check you've done this right before booting up the game, head into the video folder that can be found within the data one, and if BSG_logo 1080p is 1KB instead of the 11,000 it was before, you've installed this mod correctly. Another mod I'm sure a lot of people are going to be interested in is the Starfield Upscaler. As a result of Starfield's AMD collab, the game lacks support for NVIDIA's DLSS or Intel's XeSS. But this mod is gonna fix that, replacing the FSR2 that's in the game by default with either DLSS2 or XeSS. Unfortunately, this is currently DLS2 and not the newer DLS3, but it's pretty easy to install and there's instructions on the mod page on how to do so, and it is so worth it in my opinion. although the difference in quality might kinda be hard to convey here thanks to YouTube's compression. Just know it does make a difference. And to see this yourself, it can easily be done in game by pressing the N key. Pressing this key will open the menu allowing you to select DLSS if you have an NVIDIA graphics card or XeSS if you're running Intel. It also comes with a reshade to add some sharpening, which will help counter some of that blurriness you often get when using an upscaler. But yeah, these are just some of the mods released day 1 for Starfield. We're going to be covering a lot more Starfield mods going on, and if you want to be kept up to date with all the recent mod releases, be sure to maybe subscribe or like the video. Huge thanks to the channel members, your support helps more than I could ever put into words. With that being said though, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time.